The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. The call to solitude. A little while alone in your room will prove more valuable than anything else that could ever be given you. In our hyper-connected world, we've grown afraid of silence. We fill every moment with noise, distractions, and constant connection. But Rumi knew something essential. The soul does not awaken in crowds. It's not that Rumi romanticized loneliness. Rather, he honored solitude as sacred space, a retreat not from life, but into it. In solitude, we begin to notice things we never had the time or courage to see. The quiet ache beneath our smile, the thoughts that circle endlessly, the parts of ourselves that never found language without an audience. There's no one to impress, no one to perform for. It is in this aloneness that the true self begins to stir. But let's be honest, this silence can feel unbearable at first. We're not used to witnessing ourselves without distraction. We're accustomed to running from pain, from truth, from the vast unknown of our own hearts. Yet if you stay, if you remain seated in this fire, something begins to soften. The racing thoughts settle. The armor loosens. The stories you've told yourself about who you are begin to dissolve. What remains is raw, real, and utterly human. The encounter with the void. Why are you so afraid of silence? Silence is the root of everything. If you spiral into its void, 100 voices will thunder messages you long to hear. Beyond solitude lies something deeper, what mystics have called the void. Not emptiness as we typically understand it, but a vast, borderless silence that lies beneath all things. This is not comfortable territory. Everything you thought you were begins to loosen. The mind panics. The ego resists. It wants to label, to cling, to run. But there is nowhere to run in the void. Rumi did not fear this space. He lived in it. He danced within it. In the void, you are no longer the worker chasing success, the lover searching for completion, the child seeking approval. You are simply present. But to become that presence, everything else must fall away. This is not a place of punishment. It is a womb, a sacred chamber where all things are unmade and remade. But it is not gentle. It offers no comforts, no consolations. It demands full surrender. You cannot take your name through the void. You cannot carry your beliefs, your trophies, your wounds. You must walk naked into that darkness, stripped of past, future, and identity. And yet, what you find there is not absence, but essence. Not hollowness, but wholeness. For the first time, you begin to feel what has always been there. An unmovable, unchangeable awareness, untouched by time or story. This awareness does not belong to you. It is not yours. It is you. The awakening to presence. When I am with you, we stay up all night. When you're not here, I can't go to sleep. Praise God for those two insomnias and the difference between them. When the void has emptied you, what remains is not blankness, but a silence saturated with presence. Not a presence above you or outside you, but one that arises from within. Soft, unshakable, alive. This is what Rumi pointed to when he asked, "And you? When will you begin that long journey into yourself?" These words are not a challenge. They are an invitation. The journey is not about going somewhere new. It's about returning to where you've always been, but with new eyes. With presence, you begin to notice how many times you betray your own truth in a single day. How often you leave the present moment to revisit the past or control the future. How deeply you long to be seen, even by yourself. But presence is not just about noticing what surrounds you. It's about becoming aware of the one who is aware. It's turning your gaze inward to recognize that beneath every thought, every feeling, every role you play, there is something that does not move, something that does not change. Once you become aware of that space, your entire life becomes a meditation. Washing dishes becomes a sacred act. Speaking becomes an expression of presence. Silence becomes companionship. Rumi danced on the edge of this awareness. His whirling was not performance. It was surrender, a dissolving of the self into the now. He did not seek to escape the world. He spun deeper into it until the boundaries between inner and outer, self and other, melted like mist in sunlight, the return to love. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. As presence deepens, something else begins to emerge. A warmth, a subtle hum beneath the silence, a current moving through all things. Not an idea or philosophy, but a felt sense that feels like love. Not the romantic love that comes and goes. Not the conditional love that demands or withholds, but a love that simply is. Rumi called it the beloved, and he saw it in everything. The sunlight through leaves, the grief in a mother's voice, the tears of longing that fall silently at night. This love is not something you achieve. It is what you uncover when everything else falls away. It does not arrive with thunder or light. It appears when the seeker dissolves and only presence remains. It is found not in grasping, but in surrender. And you will know it not because it tells you its name, but because it feels like home, a return, a remembering, a soft, wordless yes. This love wants only one thing, your truth. And your truth cannot be reached through comfort. It must be excavated, uncovered, revealed. So the beloved begins to move through your life, not always with caresses, but with chisels. Not always with fulfillment, but with longing. Because longing is how love wakes us. Longing is the sacred ache that reminds us we are more than flesh, more than roles, more than mind. As Rumi wrote, the minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along, living from the heart. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Once love awakens, it does not settle. It expands. It flows outward. It longs to be shared, expressed, embodied. Divine love is not content to stay hidden in meditation rooms and sacred texts. It wants to live in your words, your hands, your gaze. It wants to be given to the world, not through grand gestures, but through presence, through patience, through listening, through showing up again and again with an open heart, even when it hurts. To carry this truth into the world means to live slowly, to listen more than you speak, to hold space for your own humanity and the humanity of others, to meet life not with judgment, but with presence, to see the divine not only in sacred places, but in dishes, in doorways, in disappointment, in delight. It means to become the quiet center in the storm, to allow the sacred to speak not through preaching, but through how you walk, how you see, how you love. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there.